Damn, where is that guy?
Make way for Philippe Forsberg.
Jersey guy? Or should I say Forsberg guy? Is that you? In my living room?
Ah, yes, Johnny. I thought I would grace you with my presence and ooze some of my confidence onto you now that I have set the single season record in goals and hold the total franchise record in goals.
Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the Anaheim Ducks by a score of 6-3 in the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, Tuesday night. On the back of a 2-goal performance by Matt Duchene, a 2-goal performance by a man who needs to be paid, including a franchise record goal again in this game after already setting a new record in another category last Saturday. The Preds start this 3-game road trip off on the right foot. They have won 4 of their last 5 and 7 of their last 9 games. Last meeting this year between these former playoff rivals, as it looks, Anaheim will not be making the playoffs, so the Preds are done with these Ducks until next season. Also, as of puck drop, no word as of yet if any Ducks fan is still stuck in traffic, because you all know that's why Honda Center is never filled up for games during the regular season. Preds definitely getting some reinforcements back in the lineup in this game. Mark Borieski makes his long-awaited return, and because Matthias Ekholm is out with an unknown illness to the fan base, at least, recently traded for defenseman Jeremy Lauzon makes his debut in Preds gold wearing number 72. Not on purpose, of course, but the Preds players allow Saros to take a couple shots from distance early, allowing him to get adjusted and dialed into this game. Unfortunately, the one thing you don't want to do in a road game is give the home team their first power play of the game before you take one. And that's what Mark Borieski does. Perhaps he is a bit rusty from being out so long, but he takes a slashing penalty, and the Ducks would head to the power play, which the Preds defended well, and the Ducks were unable to score. Ducks unable to score early in the first 6 minutes of the game, despite outshooting the Preds by a total of 6-2. Why do players want to risk it and fight Tanner Jeannot? We will never know. Well, that's what Sam Carrick does, and he learns his lesson because it ends quickly with Tanner Jeannot with the edge and lands on top of him. Just over 9 minutes into the first period, the Preds have caught up, so the Ducks only have a slight edge in shots, but just like in Philadelphia, the Preds do not start off on the right foot against a team that is not going to be making the playoffs. Rebound comes right in front to former Pred, who now plays for the Ducks, Derek Grant, who gets it home past Saros. Anaheim with the 1-0 lead. About 8 minutes left to go in the first period. The Ducks are still cycling, applying good pressure. They have an odd man rush, and the puck is deflected wide with a great chance to have made it 2-0. And then Comtois for the Ducks takes a shot on Saros, and it hits the post. The Preds catch a break there. But maybe the tide appears to be turning as Tomasino and Carrier, with about 7 minutes left to go in the first period, turn into a 2-on-1 into the Ducks zone. Tomasino over to Carrier. Oh, and Gibson makes a miraculous save to keep the puck out. But as I said, the tide seemed to be turning. The Preds getting more pressure, and then we reach the last quarter of the first, and the Preds would come out of the Ducks zone. Tomasino, with about 4 minutes left to go in the first period, rides along the right wing board into the Ducks zone, and he finds and waits for the right passing lane and gets the puck over to his captain in stride, Roman Josi, and just as he hits the right face-off dot to Gibson's right, takes a shot, roofs it past Gibson, ties this game at 1. That's Roman Josi's 18th of the season, and it's only game 63. He's gonna hit 20, right? As was pointed out on Bally Sports, I don't know how many of you out there caught this, but Roman Josi has now set the franchise record in road points for a season, not to be undersold. I caught this when they compared him to other seasons. He was 3 points shy of setting that franchise record in a 2019-2020 season before, obviously, the league shut down. The Preds captain is something else right now. And thank goodness he is signed long-term. Oh, and of course, the proverbial hashtag Yossi for Norris applies here. Preds with some good pressure with about 90 seconds left to take the lead there. Granlund staring down a wide open net, but the Ducks defenders are able to scramble back and bail out John Gibson. Time winds down in the first. Preds playing much better than they did in the first half, evening up the shots pretty close. Ducks slight edge. Game tied at 1 after the first. Preds keep up the same pressure to begin the second period that they finished the first period off with, and to their credit, they would get rewarded as Nick Cousins would get high-sticked by Max Comtois of the Ducks. And at first, the officials were just going to give a 2-minute penalty. But Cousins pleads his case, tells the officials, look at my face, look at my face, I am bleeding. And upon further review by the officials, yes, they're going to give the Preds a 4-minute power play, a double minor for Comtois. And just like I said with the Philly game, when you have this sort of situation at home or on the road, you need to make the team that took the penalty pay by getting at least 1 power play goal, if not 2. And right off the faceoff, not even 15 seconds into the power play, you've got Granlund to Forsberg, follow the bouncing puck. Gibson is over here, and guess who? Number 92, right here, Ryan Johansson, staring down a wide open net, makes no mistake, buries it, giving the Preds their first lead of the game, 2-1. Preds defending well as we reach the second half of the middle frame. Preds defending well, not letting the Ducks sustain any extra pressure, letting Saul see the shots that are coming his way. Under 9 minutes left to go in the middle frame, Preds can't sustain that defensive pressure forever. The Ducks push back, eventually draw themselves a penalty. And what do you need to do before you can even kill the penalty? You need to gain control of the puck so there's a whistle. Well, the Preds can't do that. The Ducks keep possession, and eventually Troy Terry makes the Preds pay, tying this game at 2. Preds try to retake the lead with about 7 minutes left to go in that middle frame. Shot from the point comes to Philip Forsberg, who can't find it in his skates in time before John Gibson covers up. There are 4 minutes left to go in the middle frame. There is a skirmish that has started when Borieski boards Mayhew of the Ducks. Then Schuster of the Ducks retaliates for his teammate, and there's a bit of a ruckus. The refs assign a 4-minute penalty to Borieski for both incidents with Mayhew and then with Schuster, and apply a 2-minute penalty for Schuster. The Ducks end up getting a 2-minute power play of it, but fortunately for the Preds, they are not able to convert, and the game remains tied. There's another skirmish with about 47 seconds left to go in the second period, and you've got John Gibson's blocker that is messed with, and the Ducks are pissed off about that, so these teams go at it again. Preds with some late pressure as the period winds down. They can't convert. No further damage done by the Ducks. Game's tied at 2 with the shots still relatively even. Just over a minute into the third period, Forsberg with a partial breakaway in on John Gibson, and he can't gain full control of the puck, so Gibson is able to deflect it away. But the Preds keep pushing, and they regain control of the puck. It's Forsberg once again at the blue line, trying to set up something well. Preds cycling the puck well, but it's deflected away by Max Comtois. Puck is still in a zone. It's completely still onside for the Preds. Comtois tries to backhand it over to his teammate Drysdale, for whatever reason has his stick up in the air, so he's not able to gain control of the pass in time because he's not ready. And guess who is? Guess who's tenacious? Who's hungry? Philip Forsberg. He intercepts it, this time unassisted, all alone on Gibson. Blockers tied. Scores 3-2 Preds. There, Forsberg has finally done it. He has tied Victor Arvidsson's single-season goal record for the franchise. A minute and a half later, the Preds are back on the power play, and Philip Forsberg gets it down to his teammate, Matt Duchene, who harkens back to last Thursday in Philadelphia and tells Philip, hey,
Feel it. Anything you can do, I can do better. He comes right out to the left of Gibson. Between his leg, I don't know how they do it, but he gets it into the nets past Gibson, giving the Preds a 4-2 lead. Just over 7 minutes into the third period, you see Saros, who is desperate for a stoppage because of an equipment issue with his skate having to be fixed because he can't push off properly, finally gets a whistle and gets it attended to. And Dave Rittich on the bench is like, da, 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 da. Oh, do I have to go in? Okay, let me get my stuff on very slowly, buy some time. And yeah, he tries to drag it out, understandably so, but it's a little bit more work, not injury related. Thank God for UC. He just has to go and get his equipment fixed. So for a little bit of time, Rittich is forced into the game. He doesn't allow a goal, thank goodness. So hey, thanks for the relief pitching in terms of hockey. Thank you, buddy. Then Jeremy Lauzon, in his first game for the Preds, takes its first penalty, a holding call on Mayhew that he kind of sold, but fortunately it doesn't cost the Preds with a power play goal against. Lauzon is just doing what this team does well, being physical and being right on their opponent's neck, defending well, taking the body to him. But just about the halfway mark of the third period, after the Preds have successfully killed off Lauzon's penalty, Derek Grant is hungry for more goals against his former team, and Colton Sissons, try as he might to try and tie him up, is unable to do so. Grant gets his second of the game. Preds lead is now cut to 4-3. Preds go back on the power play though about a minute later, and you've got Philip Forsberg to Gibson's right off of a pass from Roman Josi. And Forsberg is waiting, drawing all the attention because he's a lethal goal scorer after all. But go back and look at the replay. Somebody in the moment who doesn't get enough credit as the passing lane is blocked. It's number 92, Ryan Johansson, who skates right in there, opening up the Red Sea almost, as Forsberg is able to get it right through to Matt Duchene from an impossible angle. Like, how does this go in? But it does. He shoots it on the one-time pass from Forsberg. He now has 34 goals on a season, tying Arvidsson's single-season record as well. Preds retake a 2-goal lead, now up 5-3. Ducks getting really undisciplined now. The Preds have another power play, and Nick Cousins tries to make it 6-3, but Gibson is able to stop the bleeding at that point. Eventually, in the dying minutes of the third period in regulation, John Gibson would be pulled. Preds in their own zone trying to defend well. Puck is cleared and Forsberg is racing after it against Cam Fowler of the Ducks. Now mind you, Matt Duchene and Ryan Johansson are going to get assists on this goal, but this goal is all Forsberg. In any other world, I'd argue he should get the goal and both assists because he outraces Fowler, backhands the puck towards the net, trying to see if he can get it into the empty cage. But he doesn't. But what he does do by doing that is he gets it across the blue paint and he outraces Fowler to go back around the net and say, oh, looky there, and tucks it in, giving the Preds the final score in this game, 6-3. Let me not forget to hammer home with that empty net goal. Philip Forsberg now has 35 goals on the season. He breaks Victor Arvidsson's single-season record that he made back in the 2018-2019 season, and Forsberg still has 19 games left to go. He's going to obliterate it, much less hit 40. And hey, Victor Arvidsson gets to congratulate his former teammate Philip Forsberg in person when the Preds play the Kings Tuesday night. Whether or not Victor gets to play, we shall see because he has been injured, but I am certain Philip and Victor will have a meetup and exchange pleasantries. But let's not forget, number 95 is on the roster too, and he wants a piece of that 40 action. It's going to be a fun race with 19 games left to go in the season. Wow, this team is really on a heater right now, and with just under 25% of the season left to go. The only way I could have seen the Preds playing better in this game is if they hadn't allowed a single Ducks goal, because other than that, they outscored them, obviously, they outshot them, they won more faceoffs, they outhit them, and specialty teams wise, they didn't allow the Ducks to score a power play goal, and the Preds themselves went 3 for 5. It's kind of sad, come to think of it, that the Preds and Ducks won't be playing in the playoffs this year. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm not sad that the Preds and Ducks won't be playing in the playoffs. The Preds are going to be in the second season, assumingly barring a choke, and the Ducks are going to be golfing. We'll see you next year, Anaheim. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media by clicking on a channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption. It may mean that a certain somebody is going to get paid eventually here by the Preds Nation, but I, for one, am going to enjoy this $9.95 ride to the playoffs.